Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over the first step that I'm personally going to be taking with my Land Rover restoration. It's going to be essentially a Land Rover restoration, and then after that I'll convert it into a camper. I'm going to be making use of this stuff, Pour 15 paint. Honestly, it's the most permanent paint you can buy. I got it on my skin and it didn't come off for about a month. But yeah, that's the first stage of the Land Rover restoration, I guess. I got these 3 helpers, and they know quite a lot about campers, so I'll definitely be picking their brains. But here you can see I've got like the roof, the tub. I'm 6'3", but I can just about lie down from the top to bottom. I do actually fit. Eventually this roof will also be like a pop-up roof, so hopefully it will add quite a lot of height. And yeah, that's basically it really. I mean, the chassis is outside at the moment. I have to pressure wash it, but all the parts are just kicking about here. And as soon as the chassis is done and the tub's on, they'll all go back on as well. So yeah, that's basically it. I'll show you me painting the chassis now. Here you can see I'm using the pressure washer. I'd do a light rinse and then I would degrease, and then I'd do that over and over about 3 or 4 times just to make sure as much grease was off the chassis as possible. All different oils or whatever was completely off the chassis. If there are oils on the chassis, the Pour 15 paint doesn't really adhere to it, doesn't stick very well, so it needs to be as bare as possible. Here you can see I used a angle grinder with a wire brush attachment to properly rough up the chassis, and hopefully that will form a nice base for the paint to stick to. Right, it's finally time to paint. So we've just degreased it outside and we brought it back in because it was raining. I've currently got a very precarious setup with the tractor sort of holding it up and also the 2 stilts. And then I've got this light that looks like it's drunk on the floor so I can see the underneath. And yeah, we're gonna crack on with this Pour 15. And we have finished. Finally, we are done with painting the chassis. I'm really happy with the results. Looks really good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I did actually paint with a brush before. I did like a base layer with a brush, and honestly, it was hell. I really wouldn't wish it on anyone, and the spray applicator just made it so much easier, and the finish is just amazing. I'm really happy with it. I'll stick some photos on the side here so you can really see the true quality of how good it looks. I don't think the video really does it too much justice. So now the entire chassis is finished with, it's on to the next job. It's the day after the chassis paint, and 2 of my helpers, well, they're slacking on the job at the moment. Got tons of stuff to do today. I'll show you a few of the things I've got. Look how nice he is. He's a very good boy. Hey. Just chilling. If you can tell what that is just from seeing it, you are a Land Rover fan. I've also got some new tub nuts and bolts, and I've also got these nuts, and I've also got some other nuts which we won't show on camera. But today these nuts and bolts should go. Got some nice nylon ones. They're going to go through these tub holes to put the tub back on, and then got 2 new tub supports which I'll show you in a second. The other 2 I had 6 for the tub, but 2 of them were pretty much rusted away, so hopefully they'll be okay. So I'm going to take all this off. The chassis is looking lovely and black, and I don't think I really missed anywhere. I'm very happy with the finished product. Hopefully that'll give the chassis a ton of longevity. Even like the leaf springs look so nice. So let's unpack this and let's crack on. not a very nice day today. It's actually raining, it's pretty miserable. I'm glad I got all the painting done out the way. To be fair, it would be good to actually paint it. It would have been good to actually paint it now because the rain settles all the dust. Even though it's so dusty in here, it would have stopped loads of dust on the chassis. To be fair though, that wasn't really a problem. Don't think I got too much dust on it anyway. So I brought these from a guy on Facebook Marketplace. I should probably paint these prior to actually sticking them on, but can't really be bothered to wait. I just want to put it all on now. But yeah, 2 new supports, in very good condition. Just to show you what the supports actually look like. So these attach to the tub down there. They've got these like rubber sort of stoppers. As you can see, they just sit on either side like that, but they'll be attached to the tub. And then everywhere you see these, this is basically where they sit. So got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there definitely is a 6th somewhere, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I'm going mad. I've been making use of this Quicksilver paint from Screwfix or Toolstation just to do this sort of trim. As you can see, this is the before and this is the after, which is so much better. Should probably fix that hole in the barn. So what I've been doing here is using the angle grinder with a wire brush just to get all this old crap off. I'll do it all the way around here, and that should be okay then. I can put the sides back on. 1 tin of this, there it is, the old tin, did absolutely loads. It did all of this. It just looks so much nicer. And eventually I'm going to be painting the whole of the Land Rover in like a real dark bluey black, so that should look really nice from BMW. The original colours, you see like this marine blue, it's nice, but I've seen some people on Instagram use other colours and they just look so much nicer. This is also another project that I've currently got ongoing, doing a pretty shoddy job of fixing the lower dash. You can see I've used like chemical metal here. It doesn't really matter because this is all hidden, but I need to finish that as well. So I thought I'd talk over this part as the audio is pretty bad. The weather's just terrible and like the wind's messing up the audio. In the video, I'm actually putting on these like rubber bumper plate things that basically stop the chassis from smacking into the rear axle. This would only really happen if like you did a massive jump in the Land Rover and yeah, you crashed into the floor. I don't intend on really doing that, so I think we're all good. But yeah, I basically wanted to use this time to talk about what I actually want to do with the Land Rover. So as I said at the start, it's initially going to be a restoration. So I'm taking this old Land Rover and restoring it to hopefully a reliable way of getting around. Once we've reached that point, I'd quite like to turn it into a camper. There's tons and tons of inspiration online. There's one guy that has a YouTube channel called Boris the Defender, and I take a lot of inspiration from him. I think he's done a quality job at revamping his camper, and I'll show like a load of other people I take inspiration from, mainly on Instagram. They've just done amazing things with Land Rovers and turning them into campers, and I really would like to basically follow in their steps. I do intend on getting the whole solar panels and leisure battery set up. Don't really know what I'm actually going to sort of have inside the Land Rover, but it's definitely going to be quite minimal. It'll have all the essentials in and hopefully a few luxuries. It would be quite nice to have a TV in there. I'll probably have like a tiny one. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up the first video. I hope you've enjoyed the chassis sort of makeover. The next video will be hopefully a bit more exciting, but these things really need to be touched on before you sort of progress with converting into a camper, because these are like the fundamental parts. If anything to do with like the chassis goes wrong or the engine, then you're in deep trouble, and it's just good to sort of take care of it before it becomes a massive problem and you have to pay loads of money to get a replacement or to get it fixed. But yeah, if you have any suggestions as to what I should actually do with the Land Rover, if you have any cool ideas, that you've maybe seen somewhere else, then definitely drop them in the comments and I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.